Well guys, just like yourself, I was curious about this bike, and so I purchased it. Every market is getting crazy right now, and I wanted to purchase it before it did sell out. It came in a pretty reasonable time. I ordered it and it was probably a handful of weeks out. During the current time of you watching this, it could be very quickly, but the only downside is they were supposed to email me when the bike was shipped, and it just showed up. There was no email notification, it just kind of showed up, and I was moving at the time. Anyway, make a long story short, if you have family in a different county, check different county prices with tax. I was able to save a good amount of money on just tax alone to ship it to my parents' address instead of my brother's address, which is about a half an hour away. Kind of weird, but a little tip for you. Let's open this up, put it together. I do love the smell of a new bike and that rubber smell. And this is exactly, let me turn the light on. This is exactly how it came shipped in the box. And so if you are curious about that, we have no padding up here. Looks like some boxes down below with probably some hardware, etc. Looks like the paint is exposed a little bit. Looks like they do have a pad right here. A little bit of styrofoam on, it looks like. Over here, we look like we have a random box just kind of placed in there like this. Set right on top of the lever, which is not the best thing. And then your front shock is wrapped in some nice cardboard there. Everything looks good. It doesn't look scratched or beat up at all. Your handlebars are a little exposed as your dropper post. Looks like there's a little bit of wrap in there as well with a dual piece of cardboard there. Looks like we have a rubber band around that and more double cardboard and the box over there like that. The tires look good. Doesn't look like any damage to the box or anything like that. Be careful if you are getting this shipped during the winter time because there are some hand holes here. But the box is super durable. So let's go ahead and bring it out. We'll examine it. That box I had in my hand, you look like you do have some tools. So it looks like they do give you your owner's manual, which is right on top. Looks like they also give you a wrench, which is great. And we also look like we have some Phillips and other screwdriver heads right there. And then in here, below it, we're going to have our pedals, some random things, torque wrench, free bottle opener. Looks like some of this stuff is just kind of randomly thrown in here. We have our pedals here. Don't worry about your reflectors. Go ahead and just throw those away unless you really want to. There's my bottle opener. That's kind of cool. They do give you a little bell if you're into that, and a couple little thingamabobbers here and here. We'll check out those pedals. They look pretty decent. We'll see if my current bike has some better pedals than this. Tire 1 is out, and it looks like they gave me the XL2 disc rims with the V Tire Co. Flow Snap 29 by 2.6 Tack E compound tubeless ready. Breaking into the video real quickly to talk about what I'm about to talk about, which is the tubeless tires. Now stay tuned at the very end where I do a wrap up. This has been about 10 months since I actually filmed this video, so I'll give you a wrap up of what I think about the bike at the very end of the video, so watch it all the way through. But what I'm gonna be talking about is the tubeless tires, and still to this day I actually don't really know. I haven't busted a tire, so I don't really know if there's tubes inside or if it's already tubeless. My brother runs tubeless on his Yeti, and I think he told me the answer to that. 10 months later down the road, no flat tires, no issues, so I don't know if it's already tubeless or tubed inside. So I wanted to state that before I go into what I'm talking about. So it looks like they've given me, which is if you want to just get on the road as quick as possible, you don't have the right airless tire sealer, they do give you some tubes already in it. It again is tubeless ready. I will eventually switch over to that, but for the purpose of riding in about 2 hours from now, I'll go ahead and just keep my tubes in there. They look really fat. Again, that's just from my shop right here, the dust on the ground, but beautiful tires. Look at those, man. Those are beefy little suckers. Right now I'm on a intermediate-ish Diamondback, and so this is going to be a huge upgrade for me. So sorry, my shop is pretty messy because I just moved. So this is how the rest of the bike comes. You have a little bit of tie-ness here to your cranks. You got a little rubber band, something or other here. You got your dropper post and your seat going this way. Doesn't look like there was any, might have been in that box when I lifted it up. That might have been on the seat there. And then your handlebars are going this direction here with pads here and here. I don't see any scratches. Pad right here to protect your paint here and here. Again, I'm not seeing, there's a little bit of wear. Actually, no, not really. And there's actually, that could be preventative, but it looks like it's actually kind of flaking off a little bit. Right there, not the end of the world if you felt like leaving that on or pulling that off. Other rim and tire looks great. Super pumped on the 1x. Shock looks awesome. Handlebars are going to be wider than I'm used to. It's a good looking bike. It's a really good looking bike. Ladies and gentlemen, we're cutting in real quick to thank today's sponsor, which is Manscaped. If you guys have not already seen their new lineup of products, I highly and definitely recommend checking out their full lineup. Of course, they are most well known for their Manscaped Lawnmower body groomer, and they also have a great performance package, which includes boxers and all sorts of wonderful items. I'm actually wearing a pair of their boxers right now, and I love them. I have about probably maybe 9 to 11 sets of their boxers. They also have come out with 2-in-1 shampoo, chapstick, a straight razor, which is really cool, matte black, it's super sick, body wash, you name it. Now their Lawnmower 4.0 is their newest one with an LED light. It is washable, waterproof. You can use this in the shower. You can rinse it after you're done. I use this on my chest, my underarms, down below, trim up my legs. I use it everywhere. It is a great trimmer, small, compact as well, with a nice long battery life. And if you guys want 20% off plus free shipping on whatever you order, if you just get the straight razor, 20% off free shipping. If you just get the performance package, some boxers, whatever it might be, my direct link is the top link in the description box as the comments as well. That direct link will take you to Manscaped's website where it's going to automatically apply that 20% off with free shipping for you. Add whatever you want to your shopping cart, check out, get your discount, get your newest awesome products by Manscaped. You won't regret it. And so once again, thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Front shocks are looking excellent in the protective covering. They have some covering on the bottom right here as well. Just a little heads up for you guys here. I had some shifting in my front tire, just wasn't tight like it should be. And I was like, what is going on? Closer look, I was missing a front spacer. When I pulled off this plastic protective piece on the rim, for some reason it was really jammed in there, really tight. It came off with it very easily, and so I need to put this little spacer back on my front rim to be able to torque it down as it should be. Just a little heads up about that. That is the one I was missing. All right, here's a little tip for you here. If the handlebars are not in the way, leave those Velcroed up, so you're not scratching the handlebars on your paint. And if you don't have a bike stand, just set the bike on top of the box like this. And another tip for you here, putting it together, this was inserted in the middle of your front brake pads. So that just slips out. It's a little piece of plastic there. And then remove the front slip-on bolt. This is new for me. My Diamondback has the old version, but these are so much better. So slip in your tire, and then this obviously will go through. I'm going to do it with two hands. All right, so you might have to unwind your bars just a tiny bit. You do have your dropper post thumb button right here. All right, little tip for you here. What is cool is that all these tools, which you will need to put together your bike, they go inside this little provided wrench. Now, something that I had to do is I actually had to remove my left brake lever, and I'm going to be putting that back on. And then I had to put the handlebars in, of course, take off this little bracket here, slip in your handlebars, adjust them as you like your different hand position, making sure the plus is right in the middle of your bar mount right there. Now, something I did notice is this wasn't me, but there is a little bit of grazing on the black iodized paint right there, as we can see. No harm, no foul. I'll probably put some decent scratches on it. Depends how hard you're riding. I'll put a little magic marker on there. Again, you do have your dropper post though. Make sure that you put this in the location where you want it. If you want that, we'll show you that. All right, one more thing that I hope will help you guys is the dropper seat remote goes on the left side. I was trying to figure that out watching a couple other videos myself. And the way it's supposed to go on is with the thumb button down here looking like this, attached right here. Now obviously when you get the seat and everything on the bicycle, go ahead and ride it around and see if that's a comfortable position. If that's not, then lower it, raise it up. Same with your brake levers, lower those down, raise them up. wherever your hands like to go. It's just easier and feels better for you. Again, this is your bike, so make sure you feel comfortable with it. And the very bottom of your dropper seat post, you're going to have a little black circular ball that goes in that little slot. Then you got to slip the cable line down through that little portion there. As you can see, obviously with the seat going in the proper direction this way. All right, so far the hardest part of the build assembly is going to be the dropper post. And the reason why, it was just a little bit tight to get in there. And then you're going to have to go ahead and maybe pull in your cable here, or as you drop it down, you're going to get a little slack on your dropper seat cable. So then you just kind of jimmy it in to the right here. You might have to grab the cable here, which goes to your remote control, and pull that slightly as well. Obviously, latch that back on nice and tight. Now we're down here to the right pedal, and they make it pretty simple for you, labeling it with a blue R and also an R on the pedal as well. Just remove those stickers. You might want to remove that stick before you do install it. And then use your provided wrench they gave you to go ahead and tighten those pedals down. And I'll leave it up to you, but if you do want to pop out the reflectors in the pedals, it's really easy to do. What I actually did, let's see if we can do this with one hand here. I just slipped in my little pair of scissors, popped out one side like that, going in the other side, pop it out, and they're just held in by these little clips here. You could put those back in if you really wanted to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap this video up about talking about the bike and the performance of it. Again, it's been about 9 or 10 months. When I originally filmed that video, it was September of 2021. This is a 2021 model, but I'm pretty sure they actually sell this exact same color scheme, which I really love. And obviously the red water bottle cage doesn't really match. I'll leave that up to you if you want to go more of, I think I'm going to replace it with something like this color here. Love the color scheme, love the performance. I have beat this bike up a lot. We've done a lot of beautiful rides here in Colorado. I've ripped this thing through aspen trees in Breckenridge Vale area, and it has handled amazingly. Now, my brother knows bikes better than I do, and so we actually tweaked a couple different things. Here is a little air pump compression for your front shock. What we wanted was we wanted a little bit of bounce back, but not too much and not too little either. We wanted to give a nice feedback, and whatever my brother did, it was beautiful. Rear suspension has done amazingly, as you can see here. Here's my little ring here. Again, we have put this through the ringer, and it has done excellent. No maintenance in 9 or 10 months, besides chain lube, filling up the tires with air, obviously, before a ride or double checking it. The only thing I will eventually upgrade is probably the seat. The seat's fine for me, but some people think it's a little bit tough on the tush, but I think it has a little bit of give to it, and I'm fine with that for right now. No complaints. Now down here I have a little adapter from my Ryobi tire inflator. I just leave that on. Brakes are really nice. Again, front suspension is fine for me. Love the clean look. This is how I have my dropper post cabling, where it's drooped now just like this. Again, that was the hardest thing to install. And it's not even perfect. Again, after this long, it's not even perfect, but it works fine. It's just maybe a little bit slower with the initial kick than if a professional installed it, but it works really nice for my tastes. But compared to a professional install, it might be a little quicker if they did it. But I did it fine. I actually talked to another bike rider at the trailhead. He saw that I had a Polygon. He said he had, I think, 2020's model, and he actually took it to a bike shop to have them install the dropper post. He was having a little bit of issue figuring that out as well. So I'll leave that up to you if you want to probably pay, my guess is 15 to 30 bucks for them to install it. Somewhere around that ballpark. Now, one thing that is missing is my little ring on my front suspension. It didn't come with it. Wish it did to know how far I'm coming up or down. That's kind of a bummer. Pedals are doing awesome. Really sticky and grippy. I like those. Rear suspension knob is right here. Very convenient for just quickly reaching under, flipping it down, etc. Your front lockout for your front suspension is right here if you want to do that for hill climbs. Now, something that I want to talk about as well, because I switched over to this type of like enduro type of a frame layout, I lost just a little bit of my hill climbability that my previous kind of XC Diamondback had, meaning it takes just a little bit more effort, just the design layout, to climb hills, but you get used to it after a while. But when you point this thing downhill, it was a dream come true. Going from, again, an intermediate 29-inch Diamondback to this was well worth every penny. This thing handles like a champ. My riding skills have gotten much better, doing some tail whips, all sorts of cool things. It jumps beautifully. The tires after 9 or 10 months, let's go ahead and take a look at those. Those are looking really good here, and this is ripping at least once a week, but majority of the time we're doing about maybe once, 2 shreds per week or so. Rims are holding up fine, no broken spokes. I think the only other issue I've had is in maybe the front, but I think it's actually corrected itself, is I've beaten it up. Again, I keep talking about beating it up really good, but I've beaten this thing up really good, and I think I had a little bit of slight little noise coming through my front rotor, but it's actually corrected itself, probably with another beat up, and then it just whatever, maybe loose dirt in there. It does need a bath right now, as you can see. And with that said, I've actually gone over the bars a few times on this thing. Paint looks great, besides being a little dirty right now. Everything has held up really nicely. No rips in the grips. Really great quality products, whatever they use. I think I've actually maybe scratched the seat up a little bit, but no rips in the seat or anything like that. The wide bars, I really like them. Some people do have a professional shop cut them down or cut them down themselves. Again, my previous Diamondback, probably each side of the bars were about maybe 2.5 inches shorter in length. I'm used to the longer bars now, and I really like that as well. It shifts really smoothly and beautifully. Again, I don't really have any cons about the bike, besides the dropper was just a little difficult to install. This thing is definitely a thumbs up in my book. Very happy with my purchase, and eventually if I ever do upgrade, I'll probably go carbon fiber. My brother's Yeti carbon fiber is like half the weight of this. Probably would climb hills a little bit better, but I don't see myself upgrading for at least a few more seasons, because this thing has done an amazing job. Everyone compliments the color scheme and the look of it, and so I dig it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully this has answered any questions you might have about bikesonline.com. Besides waiting for your bike to show up in the mail and putting it together, I think it's a great deal, great components. Also, I want to thank Manscaped for sponsoring this video, and again, that link is in the description box below. You guys have an awesome day. We will see you on the next video. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Don't let the party stop, guys. Hit one of these videos, continue to watch, and we'll see you soon.